This video is on a subject I've been avoiding for a while, and that is Brexit. But I feel I need to do a video on it because it's fucking everywhere. In the UK, the evening news now is half an hour of Brexit followed by the weather. There's no room for anything else. And if anyone needs reminding what this is about, 2.5 years ago, the people of Great Britain and Northern Ireland went to the polls to decide whether or not we wanted to remain part of the European Union. But the problem was the result was so close. 52% said leave, 48% said remain. And importantly, that's the people who voted. If more people had voted, it could have gone either way. More so. And ever since then, this country's just been in one long fucking argument. Because those who voted to leave say, well, we were in the majority, we want to leave. And those that want to remain are going, well, it was really close, could we not do this again? And both those points of view are relevant, but the problem is, apparently now it's 46% of people would leave, with 54 saying they would remain. So it'd be the other way round. But if that was the result, then it's another close result. So then they'd have the argument to do it again. It's one long fucking Groundhog Day without Bill Murray to make it fun. But whatever we're doing, it turns out the politicians know even less. Because there's two camps for Brexit. There's either the politicians who've buried their head in the sand and hoped it'll go away, and the other ones are those who are just using it to score points all the time. It's very rare I'll say this. I've been ashamed to be British from the state of our fucking politicians. And that's across all parties. I want to make that clear. All of them are fucking disgusting. But something surprising that came out of Brexit is I had no idea how many people in the UK are political analysts. Because everyone with access to a computer and an axe to grind has had an opinion on this. And all of them insist that they're right. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be, I don't know, Mad Billy Backwards, the bloke who had a head injury at work a few years ago. Now spends his free time in the park screaming at the ducks. Well, he apparently knows more about this subject than Laura Koomsberg. Laura Koomsberg, the BBC political correspondent. I've seen so much of that woman in the last 2 years, I've started to fancy her. Now, when Newsnight comes on, I find myself thinking, I wonder what Laura's going to work. There, Laura. We're on first name fucking terms. But it's not just the UK that's in the shit. All of Europe is going wrong. There are other countries threatening to leave the EU. We've got a massive rise of far-right parties and violence. And no one seems to know what to do about it. But I've come up with a plan. And I haven't taken 2 years to do this. I came up with this when I was stuck in traffic on the way home from work. And this is the Disgruntled Danny plan to save not only Britain, but all of Europe. And what we need to do is we need to convince Germany to invade Poland. Because at the minute the EU's a bit of a mess. But if the Krauts start rolling tanks into Warsaw, everyone will go, oh, here we go, yeah. Oh, the Germans are up to that again. And then we all know the part we have to play. France will surrender and it'll be up to the plucky Brits to save the day. And although you might think this idea wouldn't be very popular in Britain, trust me on this. If you speak to the average British person about warfare, they'll say, no, I'm opposed, I think it's a terrible thing. But if you add it in, what about if I said we're going to have a war with the Germans? 99% would go, right, where do I sign up? But crucially, this is a different type of war. This will be the first ever pre-planned war. One in which no one is killed. And there's no point having the Battle of Britain run again, where our young men will have to shoot down their young men at a rate of 2 to 1. The RAF and the Luftwaffe use the same fucking aircraft, and crucially, they're very bloody expensive, so we don't want to be losing them. But what we have got in Britain is a lot of derelict buildings and a lot of eyesores, which are caught up in red tape, or there isn't the money to knock them down, so we'll just get the Germans to bomb them for us. And crucially, we'll do the same for them. We can still have the air raids and the shelters and the spotlights out. It'd be a right laugh. And there are economic benefits, because with struggling economies, if you want to boost it, have a war. That's proven to massively increase your financial output. I fucked that right up. You know what I mean. Also, we have an obesity epidemic. So, what better way to cure that than we all go on rations for a few years? It'd be fucking great. And then at the end of it, when the Germans go, oh well, you got us again, and we'll go, don't worry, there's always time for round 4. We will essentially satisfy both people on the Brexit divide. Because clearly the UK will have to remain part of Europe to keep the peace. But a lot of people who voted to leave had concerns about immigration, in particular foreign criminals. Well, at the end of a war, we can have a look at all the foreigners in our country, and the ones we don't like, we just repatriate them. I thank you.